What is it that you love about dance?
Everything you need to know is in my dancing.
Everything?
Oh, you white parents better look out. Not only are your kids turning black, but they're turning black in 3D now.
There's all colors of kids in this film these days. This isn't like your Step Up 2 or your Step Up. It's more multicultural.
Yeah, that's what the 3D is. More colors, more culture.
This is it's like Fame crossed with Xanadu of Step Up movies.
In 3D.
In 3D.
It is true because they have a house full of dancers. This guy's like, welcome to my house. I foster homeless dance kids or something. And it's like Professor Xavier's dance group for mutants.
No, I was just going to say that. Okay, this is like an X-Men movie, except Professor Xavier is one of the Jonas brothers, and he brings in this new kid who's kind of like Kitty Pryde to live in the Xavier Mansion, which is just a loft in New York with all the other mutants. Instead of mutant powers, they all break dance, and even like his rival, his Magneto, is one of the kids from Twilight with his no acting ass. I mean, you even have like nothing says loving like a villain who can't act.
You know what, though? I have to say something. I mean, I saw this movie, obviously, the last time in Step Up 2, and one of the biggest disappointments, I'm going to get this out of the way right now, is that Brianna Evans is not in this fucking movie.
Well, she might as well be.
I don't know what they did. I don't know if like somebody like decided to clone her after like some of her ass sweat like hit the floor because there's a girl in here that looks so much like her. It's scary.
Yeah, she's indistinguishable, but it's not her.
It's not her, and that means unfortunately, kids, there are no ass babies in this movie at all. That's not
100% ass baby free.
I was getting ready to have all the ass babies come out and like do a dance number
do a little chorus.
Yeah, exactly. We had like light up asses and everything.
It's like nobody sold little wind up like ass babies yet for sale on the still.
It's coming. Give it time.
Just like those shirts, they're coming. Don't worry.
We're working on that right now.
$500 each. Yes.
But man, I didn't get to see this with you guys. I was off watching another movie.
Damn.
And looking at the trailer for this. Now I watched the trailer for this in a theater, and I was ready to laugh, and I did laugh, except when that 3D was in full effect, because we saw the trailer in 3D, and it was ass, feet, necks, elbows, and I was like, shit, this is better 3D than I've seen in some superhero movies.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, I want to see this.
You're not kidding. This is like, watching this, you go, wow, this is what 3D was made for, because, god damn, it's pretty badass.
And it took Step Up to do that. I mean,
it did. And it should be called 3Damn, because it looked fucking like boom, boom, boom. Even I think in the trailer, when the 3D came popping at you, the 3D started dancing, and I'm like, wow, somebody's finally using this technology for what it was meant to do, and that's to show you badass dancing all up in your face.
I know.
In your face.
I know.
Fuck Avatar, all right?
This whole thing is such a fantasy. I mean, it's so indulging in the fact that none of this is even plausible, that even the characters in the film at one point acknowledge that it's in 3D. Yeah. They're like, doing stuff in 3D, and then the people are like, ooh, you're like, they wouldn't do that unless they just saw it in 3D.
Corey, imagine if Xanadu were shot in 3D. That's pretty much what you're going to get.
It's like I said, it's Xanadu crossed with Fame, really, that, ends with a dance off.
And I can see that. Now, I don't know, I didn't see the movie, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but I saw one scene where they all split apart and everybody shot out a laser. Did they slice people up on the sideline?
They showed you that? Because that is the big climax.
Yeah, I wonder, did they kill bystanders with lasers and shit? That shit looked like Tron for a little while.
For a second, I thought like the Predators got together again and started doing their Predator dance.
Yeah, like aiming at people.
Yes, the Predators. Look, check them out. They know how to dance.
Killed them with awesome.
I know everybody on the sideline like, woo, you see that movie?
Now take the money.
Pretend you never saw that. That's part of the big climax.
It is part of the big climax.
Don't ruin it for the audience.
No, but the thing is, what I kind of liked about this movie is that it was very tongue in cheek as far as the plot, only because it does take you back to I think every dance movie that you've ever seen as far as the plot is concerned, especially the Breaking movies, where Breaking 2, if you remember what that movie was about.
Electric Boogaloo, who can't forget, man?
I was waiting for you to say it, Corey.
Some people know that name, but they haven't even seen the movie.
I think kids are popped out of their vaginas as their mom's vaginas going, Electric Boogaloo. Like, where does that come from?
The only thing keeping this from being made in 1983 is the level of technology. That's it. Like the fact you're like, oh, that's a iPod, so obviously it was made now.
Yeah.
Other than that, almost every detail of this feels like it was made in 1983. I mean,
yeah.
At one point there's a wall of boom boxes. Okay.
Yeah, where it's like, man, it took me a while to get this. I'm like, yeah, you must have had a time machine.
I know, right?
Thing is, it is like, it starts out with, and really like the first half, maybe even 2/3. It's every, dance, Save the Rec Center, kung fu movie you've ever. It's like if you can't predict this, it's because you really are retarded.
Yeah, it's insipid, really, the plot, and there are no surprises.
None whatsoever.
Well, I thought there was one really stupid plot. There's one stupid part with the plot where they show you. Okay, number one, like we just said, they show you that wall of boom boxes, and then in another scene, they show you a wall of all this gear that these kids wear. But there's a wall full of shoes, and I'm talking about hard to find, limited edition.
Jesus.
And all I'm thinking is, no wonder you motherfuckers can't afford your rent. You're buying all this bullshit.
Well, maybe that's why they have a wall full of jukeboxes and shoes, because they can't afford a home.
No, that's the thing. It's like it strikes you where guys, you really should have put this in here, because you got shoes that nobody can afford. Yeah, I can't believe the bank is gonna foreclose on us.
I know,
what can we do?
It's like the house that hip hop built. The big bad wolf comes up and man, it's just too easy. I'm not. But I will take these shoes right here.
I mean, this movie's going. I'm surprised they didn't find the ruby slippers on that one.
I know.
Wish would keep the damn wall.
And here's a wall built out of fluorescent shoelaces.
But I also love the fact that they have these battles. You just battle him. Well, now you got to battle us in the bathroom, and you think, oh shit, they're gonna cut him up and break his legs. No, they're just gonna dance in front of him. Yeah. It's oh, you got served. You served my friend. I will avenge you.
It's that's what I'm talking about. The level of fantasy here is there's no actual violence.
No.
Instead of where someone would get knifed or the big climactic scene, trap the guy and that's it. I'm gonna dance at you until you admit I'm done. Yeah. Japanese guys exchanging money on what?
That's right.
You know what that scene was? The scene in the bathroom, that was their version of the Warriors fight scene, the greatest fight scene in the world. That fight scene in the restroom that they had in the Warriors, it was that with just a dance off.
So wait a minute, would they just dance in front of somebody so hard that the other person would just collapse and die?
Pretty much. Okay, Corey, first Corey, one of the guys who was a part of the Samurais, he has those Dick Tracy watches.
Yeah.
We plotted Garrett.
He clicks on his little watch, and the whole room just gets engulfed with the most thumping music you will ever hear in your life.
So they can't afford a drywall, but they can get a Dick Tracy watch that just automatically makes virtual hip hop.
Well, he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
he's the villain.
The samurais.
If these guys would just sell half of the cool shit they have in this warehouse. First off, it's all right, this is a crappy old warehouse, right? All these dancers. The downstairs is an enormously popular club, and they keep going.
Yeah, clubs aren't making money like it used to.
You're wait, what do you mean? Every time you go down there, there's hundreds of half-naked people gyrating around, freaking out, dancing off at each other. Some guy getting danced off in the bathroom.
Yeah.
This sounds like
and you notice how they only show that club one time? That was a major source of their income. It's just they show it one time. It's just I know how we're gonna make money.
So there was a samurais at this. I'm sorry.
The samurais versus pirates.
My God, this sounds like the gayest fucking thing.
Oh, dude,
it's like you got the villain who's a samurai comes out, and instead of henchmen, it's dancing. And they just pop up and do his serving for him.
It's the world of Michael Jackson. That's what it is.
It's also weird because the dance troupe that are the samurais are white guys, but the Asian dance troupe are called something else.
Wiggers?
That would make sense.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Well, especially that group, the Red Hooks. They came out like zombies and shooting powder out of their mouths like smoke.
Yeah,
and this was a bad. It's like the first the pirates, which you can't help but want to call them the butt pirates. Yeah. But our heroes, the pirates, go up against the Red Hooks, and it's a dance off where this other team is badass. It's wow, these guys are hands down winners, and they still that. And the winners are the pirates. I'm bullshit. Did you see, Ref?
Did they actually have hooks for hands?
No, but they had a whole zombie routine worked out. It was one of the best things you ever seen.
Yeah, and they had plenty of baby powder. So where they they really utilize the 3D is really during the dance scenes.
Yeah.
Because like during that scene, you see like this dust like just rising coming towards the screen. There's scenes where there's like they're doing dance off in like a puddle of water where you're getting splashed. Like you said at the end, the laser beams. I mean, they really utilize this 3D a lot to great effect with these dance numbers. But with the names of the gangs, like that when I first saw it, it looked like baby powder.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe they'll be called the Johnson and Johnson. I don't know, but the thing is, I was like trying to memorize. I was like, maybe I should memorize these names so I know what's going on here with these dance offs. But that is like Cyrus said. I mean, this plot shows shoestring that you can't really. I mean, if you try to follow
shoestring, no, really, I mean,
it's
because
shoestring thin as far as the
Oh,
plot.
okay, not as far as the budget.
No, but the thing is that they also try to incorporate 2 other storylines in here that half the time when they
you
get
know what,
to
we've
that,
gone into like this very deep talking about all this stuff, and it still sounds crazy to me. What is this plot about?
Okay,
I told you.
A kid named Moose who was in the last film.
Yeah, he was in the last
a kid.
film.
He's moved from his hometown with the girl who's his best friend, but who clearly likes him. You can guess where that's going to go eventually. To NYU, where he can go study engineering. He tells his parents, "No, I'm done dancing." For all of 20 seconds after the interview, where he goes and goes, "Hey, that guy's got cool shoes," and he follows him and ends up in a street dance off.
I like that. Like the moment they shut the door, he's like all popping and locking. They're like,
pretty much.
We can still see you.
he's dancing away from them.
You can't take it out of me.
Well, I mean, nothing sucks more than accidentally fall into a dance competition. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I pop and I just lock. I call ambulance after that. Locked, help! No, so he attracts the attention of this local filmmaker /
Professor Xavier.
Professor Xavier guy who looks like.
Is that the guy Luke?
Yeah, he looks like every other facial hair, permanently moosed haired guy.
An actor who's real pretty, but you'll never see again.
Generic.
But he's got that razor that gives him like the 2-day stubble. Perfectly.
Oh yeah. His name is Rick Malambri, I think. I never heard of him myself. I just know that he looks like what's his name, James Marsden.
He's Captain Generic. He
he is. I mean, seriously, like 10 years ago, he would have been one of the backup singers in Color Me Bad.
Absolutely, he would have.
And now Captain Generic leads the generics in a dance group.
Not only does he lead them, he goes and hunts for them.
Yeah, that's
right.
He manages to find.
I'm telling you, dude.
Find this guy to be part of his team.
He's got the cerebral computers looking up for new dance mutants.
I didn't even think about that.
Like somebody's out there dancing, all of a sudden caught in a net. Like what the fuck?
Well, he brings this kid up to his magical warehouse, which I admit is a pretty cool looking place on Lowell. I mean, it looks
Except for all the freaks living in there.
I can't dance, but it'd be fun to get high and wander around and fuck with shit.
Yeah.
And once again, this place that he has like video equipment, video surveillance equipment all around where his club is, so he can find new talent.
Yes.
Which I'm like, why don't you pawn some of this shit and pay your rent?
Well, that's the problem.
Or
theoretically, he has to pay all this rent, or he's going to lose the place. And even worse, the guy who's going to buy it is his arch nemesis, the head of the samurais, who used to belong to his crew, except he kicked him out when he found out he threw a competition.
Yes. And his name is Magneto.
But now, as far as him like searching the club for new talent, there's this one girl who's been dancing. He's like, she's got the stuff, and I got to get her to join to join the pirates.
The substitute act baby's girl.
And that's her name is Shammy Vincent.
Yeah,
so
Shammy
she's the girl that looks like
Sharni.
Sharni. Is it Sharni?
Sharni Vincent.
And that's the girl that replaces.
Well, she doesn't even replace her at all. I mean, they just introduce her as a new character, even though she looks
exactly like
she's a replacement.
She's a spitting image of her. Yeah.
Man, but she's joining the crew. She's giving it the program, but she's got a secret.
Hey, we can take him.
You said so yourself. We're not ready.
You can trust me.
It looks like it's over. There's no way the pirates can come back from this.
Not anymore.
What happened to family?
This is my family, Julian.
Get off me.
You won't you shit when it happens.
But don't worry, the movie doesn't try
If you
to
don't
make
guess
it
what it is, you need to quit Spill.
I've seen one of these, clearly. If you don't have
I don't want to guess what it is because in my mind it is a better movie. Like when you say she's got a secret, I think that the one scene where she like is dancing and she pulls her shirt up, and she's got a Quatu mutant dancing also too. Like Elbert's like, oh shit.
See, that would have given this a perfect rating.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I gotta admit.
The thing is, as dumb as this plot is, and yeah, it's dumb and it's boring. We've seen it all before. It's a point about halfway, and maybe you're right, Leon. Maybe I'm giving this movie too much credit, but I really felt like they were just indulging in it. They're like, look, the audience knows this is bullshit. We know this is bullshit. Has anyone come to these to see the plots? No. Let's just make this a bizarro fantasy universe. Let's really focus on making every single dance sequence just knock out of the park, which they totally do, and let's just have fun with it. It's an 80s dance movie mixed with modern technology and really badass 3D that's just psychedelic as fuck.
Yeah.
It has barely any plot.
Well, can I ask you something? Because you say it's mainly a dance film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can it be thought of sort of like the musicals back in their heyday when people just accepted that, when people just broke out in song, people just break out and dance?
If they sung all the dialogue, like in those old musicals, broke into song more often, totally would have accepted it. All the bad acting, how all the histrionics that went with it would have been acceptable then. I thought about that. I was like, man, this is almost like a Rocky Horror Picture Show the way this is going. And that's almost the thing that makes me not quite agree with you that they were indulging in it, because they spent too much time on the plot. Like the movie's 2 hours long, and it could have been shaved down by 20 minutes if they just didn't feel like they had to wrap up so many plot lines and have so many plot lines going on. It's just a little too much, a little bit too much attention to the plot for to say like, oh, they're just blowing it off. Now they bring out the dog when they put out those dance numbers because they are badass, and the best thing about them is that they get better and better. Like once you get to like the very first one, I was most impressed with. Some in the middle, I was like, yeah, these are all right. They do a cute number with the main two kids, like not Luke, but the guy who played Moose.
The guy, his name is Adam G.
Who like, this kid is really charming, and he's a good actor.
You think he's going to be coming up more and more?
Yeah. He could. He's got an unusual look to his face, but he's cute, and he can dance really well, and he's charming.
He reminds me of what was the guy?
He's like Shia LaBeouf if he had talent.
Yes, he's like Shia LaBeouf who can dance.
Yes.
You know, the thing is, I thought if that were to happen, it should have happened since he was in the last movie. Because I mean, when I saw that kid, I was like, yeah, this kid is kind of charming, and I was expecting his career to go at least somewhere, but. I mean, this is. I think these movies are probably about as high as he's going to get.
It's probably just because he can dance so good. He might almost get hired for an acting job. They go like, kid, we didn't know you could dance. We got a Step Up movie that we can't wait to put you in. But I want to do Indiana Jones. No, forget Indiana Jones. No. You're not doing that. You're going to do Step Up 3D.
Well, it's interesting you guys say that he looks like Shia LaBeouf, because honestly, the whole time I was watching it, I thought he reminded me of Harpo Marx. But
yeah, I kind of thought that myself.
I mean, he does have that unusual look, and then the girl plays his best friend. I can't remember her name, but she pops up on the Disney Channel a lot. You know, I mean, they work as a good couple. They have like a sort of a Gene Kelly dance number in the middle, and that's very fanciful, but they play it well, and it works. And it's almost like, for me, that was like a big turning point in the movie where I really stopped caring about how dumb the plot was and how bad some of the acting and writing was, because from that point on, that leads almost right into the big dance number, and all that was like a big win. It's like it brought my rating points up on it.
That's the key, exactly, though, is that scene to me. That's where it goes, where I went, you know what? They do know what they're doing, and they don't care about this plot. They don't want us to care about this plot either, other than any more than any other silly musical of the past. They want to tie it directly to those, like you said. I mean, this is something right out of a Gene Kelly movie where reality just blatantly goes away. You're like, okay, this couldn't happen in real life, and and the audience knows it, and they know it. And you're supposed to roll with that. And if you can, great. If you can't, well, why did you go see this movie?
The funny thing about that scene that you guys are talking about is, like, I thought, like, the best lines, the best dialogue came out of that dance scene. And it didn't come from the actors who were in the movie. It came from the extras that were watching this dance, being performed all over the street. The street, I mean, you talk about some action movies blowing up shit. This dance number blew up shit to where two characters don't care about what they're doing, whose property they're destroying. I mean, it's just a free-for-all. Yeah. But it was very, the thing is, it was very charming, actually.
It was. Yeah. I mean, you know what would have made that scene perfect is if they just pull out a pack of Mentos and smile at somebody.
I was waiting for that scene to happen.
Well, it seems like this is the kind of movie that you would see just for the 3D, which means that they force you to come to the theater to see it. Because what I saw again in the trailer just looked incredible, and I was thinking to myself when they said step up 3D, I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm going to." Oh shit, that looks cool. So,
Yeah,
It's forgettable, yeah, and it's not irritating as such.
No.
In fact, at points it's fucking funny.
Well, yeah,
Just because
it's never boring. So it's so bad that you're laughing all
and
through
like I
it.
said, they're playing it up so much that's why I'm like, I think this is on purpose. I really do.
I thought it was like Degrassi Junior High type funny. You know, it's like, okay.
And
yeah.
You know, as much as I should just turn the channel, I'm still captivated to watch this
At
bullshit.
points, it's honestly funny though, like you were saying earlier, like with lines from side people going on, like people off screen, you're like, man, that was hysterical.
Yeah.
Some things minor characters get to throw in a line here or there. Those are the really points that are supposed to be funny, and they are funny. And especially in the last 20 minutes, that brings this movie up a lot. And I'm gonna go ahead and move towards the rating if that's okay.
Go ahead.
You know, people are going to get upset. Oh, I can't believe y'all said all this stuff about
It's not a math formula.
It's not a math formula. Just because I give this one rating and another movie from a totally different genre a different rating, doesn't, you have to base things on their own thing. That being said, this is the greatest film ever to end in a dance-off. And by that, I'm going to give it a low full price.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm close to you. I'm not quite as enthusiastic because really, except for the dance numbers and some lines there, this was some old bullshit in a huge way. And I ain't gonna apologize for that. I'm like, wow, this is bad on a scale that I wasn't prepared for. But despite how low I had it, it saved itself by the end with the huge dance climax where they pulled out all the stops. It's almost like it's over, and they just kept going. I mean, in real time, I would say that dance number lasted about 3 days just to get to the final. And they were like, uh-oh, it's close. Wait, they got another trick. And they just kept going. Light show, kids dancing everywhere, or true circus.
Ice-capades going on.
All of it. They brought elephants on stage.
They were dancing too.
You ever been to Disney at the end of the night? It's like that.
But,
Or high.
But that was enough to bring it up to a matinee. So between some old bullshit and the matinee, I'm going to give it a low rental. I mean, did I say a low rental? I'm sorry, a high rental.
Okay, damn, you were like a mathematician with these ratings.
Well, I break out the compass every so often, a T-square.
I know you are. You're like a baker or something. If I just add a little bit of matinee and mix it up with this rental,
Hey, call me an engineer.
Okay. All right, they're gonna call you that shit. Science.
The architect. I'll go by that.
I was going to call you idiot, only because I was like, this guy making his mind already?
He's an engineer, but he's going to give it all up to go dance with you.
Well, of course. That's the way it goes in these things.
Well, I guess for me, this movie would have easily been a Better Than Sex if it had Brianna Evans with her beautiful dancing as, just dancing on the screen in 3D all up in your goddamn face. I mean, I would have loved it if they would have had her like playing the bongos or kneading bread or doing her taxes. Anything would have been awesome just to see in that glorious 3D.
And she's doing all that with her ass.
Exactly. And the thing is, she's not. And that's where, that's where my heart and soul is kind of taken out, if I had one, from watching this movie, only because the plot was very silly, but once again the dance numbers are the big star and they do look amazing in 3D, and honestly it made me really wish that they'd go back, take Step Up 2 and convert that to 3D, because the dance number at the end of Step Up 2 still, you cannot beat that dance number at the end of that second movie. With this one, I like what they did with the lights. I won't spoil it, but it was pretty damn impressive. But unfortunately, I have to give this a goddamn matinee.
Not a matinee. I like the way you have. Now we have high matinee, low matinee, medium matinee, not goddamn matinee.
Goddamn matinee makes sense to me. I like the low or what are you doing? What is that? What are you checking your tire pressure?
So wait. Do you wait for Cyrus to give his review and he just go say, "Me too"? Well, just save us all a bunch of time.
And I tell you, the thing is, I'm shocked the high rating you gave it.
Well, you know what? I think about this the same way I do about martial arts films. There's so many that I adore. I mean, adore. Jackie Chan films that everyone goes, yeah, those are great movies. But the plots are retarded. Do you ever pay any attention to the plots? I mean, they suck.
Don't you say that about Drunken Master 2, buddy.
Not Drunken Master 2. That
Hold
one's
your
pretty
tongue.
good. But generally speaking, the plots are really bad. And I put this right there with this. I judge this exact same way I do them. And it delivers. It's not like one of those films you got to wait 20 fucking minutes for anything to happen. There is always a giant dance-off waiting around the corner in Step Up 3D. It delivers on that.
I I don't quite agree with that because there's some long splances where it's just plot, and you like, God damn, didn't it start out as a dance movie?
Some long, what did you say? Some long splances?
I don't know.
I know that dude. I like him.
Is that what a dance plot is considered now?
Splances, yeah, of course. That's my signature move.
Well, dancing in their hearts.
I'm gonna ignore Leon over here and complete with and goddamn it, now you got me talking crazy. And I'm going to completely 100% agree with you, Cyrus, without having seen the movie, because you are right. We watch all these action movies where we say, man, the plot in that was stupid, but wow, the action was great. I'm going to give it this high rating. Or you said a little while ago, martial arts, kung fu flicks. Those are the dumbest movies, man. We watch them with bad subtitle and narration.
Don't you say that about Ninja 3 Domination?
I thought you were going to say, don't you say about Ninja Turtles 3? No. We watch them with bad voiceovers, but we don't care because it is the fighting in it that really looks cool. And with this movie right here, it is the dancing that is the centerpiece.
The payoff.
And that is the payoff. So I think that you could watch something like this and easily overlook the plot and have a good time.
Corey, if I might correct you, you're the guy who says that about action movies before we see them, and then you come out and you go like, yeah, man, but I just can't ignore how dumb that plot was. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm quoting your review of A-Team to a T.
Well, the good thing about also not having seen this movie is I can completely agree with you 100%.
We should get to rehearsal.